I'm trying to share something with you, if I can, just moving the conversation around a little bit. And it's about growth and development. Say growth and development.
Growth and development.
Yeah, come on, Larry. I need to hear this. So, you know, this organization is over 20 years old. And man, it's really amazing to look back and see it from these eyes looking backwards. But one of the things that I'm learning about myself that I want to share with you, and I want to share this because I know nobody else will be able to tell you what I'm going to tell you about yourself, and give you a perspective on your own growth and development. That's what the point of this discussion is: growth and development. Say growth and development.
Growth and development.
Yeah, a lot of times when you are younger, you develop a persona, right? If you look at the 5 parts of self that I taught everybody in this room, just over Diamond's head, is you're born and you have a soul and a spirit, a temple and a body, an environment, a persona, and a tribal contract. This is in your physical self. We also teach that in your physical self or in your ba, say ba.
Ba.
Yeah, it means soul and spirit. In the soul and spirit is all of your energy. Say all my energy.
All my energy.
So all the energy that you were ever going to use in your whole life was already in your ba. So you already have enough energy to accomplish the goal that you were sent to accomplish. Sometimes you can accomplish some goals on your own and they not be the ones that you were sent to accomplish. This is why you'll always feel like you're yearning for something else. You still don't feel complete because there's something else you haven't done. Am I making myself clear to you? Also inside of your body is time. Say time.
Time.
Time is
the real money.
Time is the real money. And the time that you've been given is already been set from your outset. Right. You can do well with your time or poorly with your time, but your time has been set. When it's your time to go, it's just your time. And I want to explain to you that in the growth and development, I become this. I'm using myself, but I'm talking about you. I become a physical self, big enough, strong enough now to move away from my mother or grandmother who raised me, or this or that, searching for my identity. Say searching.
Searching.
Listen to what I'm telling you. Say searching.
Searching.
You can be searching for your identity and be able to find it in somebody else. You think that what somebody else is doing is what you're supposed to be doing. You think that it was okay for you to bank rob, but what you was really searching for was your identity. And so if you find bank robbing before you find your identity, you can slip around and rob a bank before you really know who you are. And then by the time you go to the penitentiary, you still have to find out who you are while you're locked up. Many of us, and I'm using this room specifically because y'all are my people, so to speak, where I spent my life at, where I poured out whatever energy I have in my time and spirit and energy in my body. I have been given a particular assignment. Y'all are that assignment. And so in my physical, I raised up in a particular way. I was athletic. I was a boxer. I was a track guy, and I was a little short. Basketball, I was a short guy. In high school, I played ball, and I was better than most, but not tall. So they would bench. They would put me on the bench, and I couldn't stand it because my ego. Say ego.
Ego.
My ego was too big for my little body. And my ego wanted to play, and I know I'm better than this guy you're putting in, and I'm gonna get you electric points right off the bench. But you say, Price, you gotta wait. I'm like, man, you wait. I went on in the streets and started looking for my identity.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't find my identity, but I found a whole bunch of other identities. None of them were mine. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you now. And I'm so glad you're in group tonight because you're not going to leave this group the way you came in. I guarantee it. Watch this. I found Slick Rick and Pretty Willie and Diamond Jim and Pimpin' so and so. I found Willie Stick Up Man. I found all I found all them. And I seen you too. And I found all of them people, and I said, oh, okay, I must be one version of this. I took all of this, not knowing in my young mind, I'm not understanding the mind, I'm not understanding the brain, I'm not understanding influences, I'm not understanding prefrontal cortex appreciation, absorption of, I'm not understanding trauma, adolescent trauma, childhood trauma. I'm not understanding that. I'm not understanding that. I couldn't understand why my mom left me with my grandmother. Why did she do that? My mom was really a beautiful woman, but she left me with my grandmother. I didn't even know my mom was living in the street. My mom was trying to save me. She was trying to help me stay away from what she was doing. But exactly the thing she was doing was what I went looking for, thinking it was my identity. I'm waiting for all the amens in this church to die down. Somebody say amen in here. Amen. Watch this, and I'm using myself when I'm talking about you. And while you go looking in your environment, say environment. Environment. You go looking around in the environment that's right around you, and from there is where you pick up all these nuances, cultural, street, criminal. Sometimes as a criminal, we didn't really start out being no criminals, but we were just having adventure. Say adventure. Adventures. And then what I called an adventure, somebody else called it a crime.
Amen.
That's right. So then all of a sudden, we got a couple of dollars, say a couple of dollars. Having an adventure, say an adventure. Yeah, pretty soon you got a case, say a case. Okay. And now somehow from there we've gotten off of track and went on to track two. Thank you, Diamond. Diamond is a great student. You all got it. But you're too busy talking negative to yourself, so you can't hold on to the blessing that I gave you. I poured oil on you, but you missed it. I poured oil on you because you're still bound by what you found in your environment that won't let you go enough to become your true self. Let me explain. So throughout my younger time, I was not a fair-looking person, and people would comment, this and that, and I didn't know that was impacting me, So I was decent person to look at, and then I dressed in a particular kind of way, and y'all know I'm still one of the sharpest Negroes in the city now. I mean, just now, But so some of that stuff I got, I still got it. Somebody say you still got it. Still, yeah. I'm just saying what I mess around with and realize was I was relying heavily on my physicality to penetrate certain environments, and things were easier for me, Arthur, than they should have been. And and I was disrespectful with that ease that I was given, the grace that I was given to come in and out of people's lives. But I was disrespectful because I didn't understand myself. So how could I bless you and be good to you? And how could I really love you when I really didn't know or love myself, and I was really just searching. Say searching. A search is like an exploration. I'm teaching good. And you know why you're so quiet? Because you know I'm teaching good. And if you could just picture a nail in a big piece of wood and somebody like this here slamming it into the wall, that's what you're feeling right now, because I'm slamming that nail in here and I'm trying to make a point to you. Listen carefully. For years, I was able to move around, I wasn't earning nothing, but I was getting money. I wasn't earning it. And I had all the little trinkets. that make people think you're successful. But when you don't know who you are, all the trinkets will fall away from you sooner or later. I'll give you an example of what I'm saying to you. You see big time boxers who you know and respect, or big time entertainers who you know and love, or big time rock stars or soul R&B stars, but then they fell down and they didn't have nothing and they drank themselves and they shot dope and because they didn't know who they were. They got fame, say fame. Fame by itself doesn't explain who you are. And the question is that Socrates asked, who are you? So watch this. I had this, all of that what I gave was introduction. You wouldn't understand what I'm getting ready to tell you if I didn't lay down first and a foundation for you to stand on while I give you this. If you're fortunate and live long enough, you get to the place where you outgrow your ego. I want you to just think about what I'm saying. I'm old enough now to where I'm not standing on whatever that was my ego was trying to build. I'm not a youth. I'm a man. Listen to what I'm saying to you now. I'm not aspiring to do the things of a young person. I'm aspiring to experience myself as a man. And I'm older. Let's Stephen, listen at this. I'm grown enough to be able to bust out of my ego as if it was a type of an embryo that contained me for a time, and it wanted to have me forever, except for I outlived the ego's strength and its conditions, and I was able to escape the ego so that I could become my own true self. What I'm talking to you now from is myself, who I really am, separate of the ego and separate from the trinkets and separate from the thing that I was searching for, but I am the thing that I was looking for right now. The reason why I'm telling you this is because I understood if somebody could have explained to me in my younger existence, prior to my ego having so much control over me, if somebody could have talked to me like I'm talking to you, if somebody could have loved on me like I'm trying to love on you, and shared with me like I'm trying to share with you, I may have come out of my ego self quicker. And the egoic state of operation is a type of penitentiary that's inside of you that you get to outlive or not. Now, you catch this now. When I busted out of my ego, then I'm not hiding behind things or possessions or what people say about me or think. I've outgrown it. I appreciate nice things and I appreciate when people say nice things, but I don't live for that. And I'm not working for it. I'm now just trying to be the person I was truly born to be. Free.
Free.
Free of all of those worldly constraints that have me tripping and slipping and fumbling and angry and bitter. It's really just your ego bruised and hurt that make you angry and bitter. You're holding on to the past. Remember what I told you last week?
Yeah.
If you want to have a good tomorrow, you can't be lost in what you did yesterday, because it will color what you do today and will guarantee you that you don't get the tomorrow that you're looking for. Am I making sense to you?
Absolutely.
Am I making sense to you here? As a man, I'm gonna say one more thing and then I'm gonna let you respond back. I want to tell you something about a job that has spiritual and social importance that you need to understand. I'm just using this story. There are other stories. I'm using the one I found. When man was created, this is the story. Say the story.
The story.
There's a lot of stories. This is one of them. When the man was created, he first was given a job. Right. The job was to over the garden. Say 10.
10.
Say it again.
10.
Say it again.
10.
10 what?
The garden.
Right. You are the garden. You are the garden, and you have to tend to your own affairs, nurture them, develop them. This is what protects you from the wiles of the dark side and you exploring, looking for an adventure in somebody else's eyes and find your way to the penitentiary for 30 years. I'll wait for all the amens to die down.
Amen.
So the thing that we've been doing lately, these last couple years, what we've been doing with REAP, is trying to develop you in some ways, tend to your garden with some information that will help you understand that you're valuable, lovable, powerful, and important, and that your job is to tend the garden, and that working the physical job that you're working is a part of tending to your own garden. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so this is why I'm sharing with you, you can't go to the garden and get upset with all of the things you find there.
Weeds.
There's weeds in the garden. That's exactly
Snakes.
right. You got to get over that. You can't let them keep you from tending your garden. If you need to make some changes, Larry, in what comes out of your mouth, I'm not talking to just to Larry, but I'm trying to love on Larry like a grown man. If you have to make some changes, listen, when you're in your car and the radio is playing the wrong music, what do you do?
Change.
You don't cuss the people out. You don't tell them F you and the horse you came in here on. If they playing something you don't like, move down to the next station. Tend to the garden. You have to work to feed that part of you that needs to develop itself through the ego and beyond. I'm talking to you from beyond it. My Lord. I'm gonna give you one more example. I'm sorry, I'm going on too long. So I've been with Ananias how many years?
2008.
Okay, how many years is that?
So that is 18 years. Yeah, 17 years.
I've been with him 17 years. He ain't the oldest one, but he's up there. But what I'm trying to get him to do is overcome the ego. And this conversation is a part of your overcoming so that you can see what it's like beyond that.
Yeah.
That is not bad, but this is better. Because this right here is liberation.
Yes.
This right, you could still lock me up and I would remain free because now I've gone beyond that. You feel? Yeah. And you could recall me the N word and say I did this, that, and the third, and put a pistol to my head like they did to the champion Terrence Crawford in Omaha. Yeah. The champion who just beat Canelo. Yeah, just pulled a pistol on him after his parade, and they named the street after him in Omaha. He always wear Omaha on the back of his trunks. He made Omaha world famous. The police couldn't think of nothing better to do but then to pull him out of his car at gunpoint. And you know what he said? He said that whole incident, I got real still. It got real for me because I've been fighting my whole life. I knew exactly what was taking place. I knew exactly what to do. Yeah. I did exactly what I needed to do. This is somebody bigger than the ego saying that you can't have me with that. Yeah. You can't trick me off. You can't make me a trick by calling me out of my name. Because if you don't know my name, you can't call me. So you can go on about your business with somebody else. But if you can't call me by my name, you ain't talking to me. Right. Move around. Thank you.
Because the ego wouldn't even allow you to be that.
Yes, we can't. I got to jump out of my skin. I got to go back. I got to go back to when I was traumatized. Go back to the people that hurt me. Every time. Wait a minute. Did they abandon you yesterday, or was that 30 years ago? Yeah. You got to make some rationalizations here. Is anybody understanding me in this church?
Yeah, understand that.
There is no place, no meeting, no place you could go in Minnesota, no place that you could go in Minnesota and get somebody to teach you what I'm teaching you right now. So now it's time for discussion. Right. So if you're brave, and I know that's a lot. That's a grown man's lesson to grown men and women. And I need for my women who are in this room to hear what it's like to listen at a man talk. Huh? Who does what he says he's going to do. Somebody else jump in now. Don't be afraid. It's all just love here. Say love. Love. Say it again. Love. Say it again. Love. It's just all love here. Go ahead.
You know, all of that hits home, especially when when I think about, just my upbringing, what I mean? I've been in the streets my whole life.
Right.
Started running away from home when I was 5 years old. And it was because I couldn't stand getting beat anymore. You know what I mean? I just couldn't take it. Right. Getting whooped with an extension cord coming up out the bathtub is my daddy bust my, but I don't want to down the debate, but I got abused pretty bad. And so I just, exactly what he's talking about is, I was a young kid out there, running the street, trying to, develop. It's just the path, right? The temple and the body, boom, and then we get put in all these different environments, coming from an environment, and then we figuring out, that violence is the key to dealing with things, and then so I'm out there developing this persona as this get that I'll shoot you, I'll cut you, I say I fight, shoot, and cut. What
right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the ego talk.
Right, that's the ego talk. And so then later on, it was, before you came around, the Muslims, we really took care of the joint. Mm-hmm. We really was at the forefront of getting in the programs, getting in the programs. I mean, besides the Wiccans did a lot too, for it too. But But before you came around, you know what I'm saying? It's like everybody was still stuck in that mode. You know what I'm saying? Like in your class, everybody was equal, right?
Right.
I'm the boss. You're gonna listen to me, or you can go, and that's it. And what you want to do, because you ain't gonna win against me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how I came with the long ponytail step and like. No, for real though. Like Shane wasn't no joke, and I used to sit there in the back. Everybody used to complain about him, and I said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna go say I'm." And I was listening to him, and I was like, this dude's making the sense because Marvin Clark and all them, to me, they was all just shysters to me. But you were different, man. You came with it. And that's what made me, what I'm saying, follow you.
Yeah.
And so the same principles that as, being a Muslim, was going right along with what it was you were saying with dealing with the self.
Right.
And then, what I'm saying, just a whole lot, man. And so, and further, it's like right now, you know, um, I live my life differently than most people. I work for me, period. I can't work for anybody else.
But you got to work.
I gotta do, I tell people I live off my investments. I'm retired right now. I live off my investments because nobody can figure out, like what it is that I do or whatever, but I do it all though. And so one of the things that I have to keep out of things when dealing with people in that capacity is my ego. Because I know that going to work for somebody, that I'm gonna have some, thinks he's funny racist joker,
Right.
playing the Dukes of Hazzard thing on his phone.
Right.
And he don't think I know what that is. And it's gonna if I'm not keeping my ego in check,
Right.
then I'm gonna respond to that.
Exactly.
And so, and then even in furtherance with relationships, I find that the biggest thing that I keep out of my current relationship is
Right.
my ego.
Right.
There's a few things I'm not going to be going to church and doing the hallelujahs and all of that. I'll go and listen to the word. I'm not going to stop smoking weed. It's just the way that it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I know if you want a different me, and because I'm not good to deal with. And then other than that is, what I'm saying, like, and she has one other
But I want to hold you right there. But just hold on.
ego talking.
Yeah, but
Ego
hold
talking.
on, and that's important. And I really need for you to have a space where you can unpack some of what you just said. That's what the space does. It gives you a chance to unpack it. Will just walked in, and I wish he would have caught tonight's presentation. But I try to figure out how to bring you into it, Will. I'm glad to see you though. Somebody else jump in. Go ahead. Go. Say your name and then jump in.
Peter guy.
Go ahead.
So like lately, I just started a productive day program through Hamilton County. By the way, Megan said hi.
Who?
Megan, the probation officer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I told her about this when she already knows about it.
Right.
But yeah, like I'm doing carpentry, like the pathway, and basically learning like a bunch of things based on things I've seen all my life.
Right.
Like watching and basically like be putting my hands into it and actually doing it myself. Like,
Yes.
and it's actually really fun. It keeps me busy and like, it helps me out with my thinking, helps me slow my brain down from going million miles per second.
Yes.
And like, I've been thinking about just things been clicking.
Right.
Like, so it's amazing how, I got home from work and I didn't even want to leave the house. I'm like, I'm just gonna get over there.
That's good.
You gave the speech and stuff, and
That's good. Yeah.
basically, like, that's what I've been thinking about. So I just need to.
But let me share with you what he's talking about. He got into this program. He announced it about 2 or 3 weeks back that he was getting into that Hennepin County program that teaches you a trade. And I think, do they pay you?
Oh yeah.
And they pay something. You remember we had a couple other people were in it. And so what Pierre is talking about is that he done stepped into an opportunity where the work, say the word.
The word.
I say it louder than that.
The word.
Yeah, man and woman, our job is to
Work.
and discover your truth as a result of it. I can't tell you how many people who I was raised up with who were just all street, lived and died, all street, but never really showed up. Just the ego person showed up, the image. Am I making sense to you?
Yes.
I'm so proud of you, man, and keep doing that. I want you to shine, not just go there. Be on time, be grateful, be humble, and show that you're willing to learn.
Doing all that too, like just like I said last week, even like the past month, I've been really working on like, I'm super open, like my habits that I have, things from like family, like my attitude and stuff like that.
That's good. That's good.
I feel a lot better, and I know I still got a long way to go, but I'm trying to basically make myself a better man so I can
That's
make
good.
my life better.
And I'm gonna be even more. I want to be brutally honest today with ourselves. With Pierre, we just got a little mental health thing going, but it's mild. And the work, what he's saying, the work gives me purpose that trumps the mild mental health piece. I got a spade for it in my pocket. The work is my spade, and then I'm playing it, and it's hitting like a book.
Yeah.
You feel?
No.
And give him a hand. Come on, son. Say your name, and then you go next.
Jeremiah, Pop Guy.
Jeremiah, what's up?
I was basically like off of what you said, right? When you said like the egotistic part about like being a child and just being egotistic, like me, like when I was growing up, I never understood fully like about the trauma that I was going through when I was a kid. I never understood it at all. So like then like I was going to school and stuff like that. Everybody like, oh, he just that bad kid. He bad. And I'm just doing stuff like, cause I'm like, when you start to live up to that name, you want to live up to your name.
Right.
So like they like, oh, he the bad kid. I'm gonna be bad. So I'm carjacking, stealing cars, robbing people, doing this, doing that. He the one that always be in JDC and all that.
Right.
I just wanted to be bad because I was doing it for a reason, but then again, a main part of it was just keeping my name up.
Right.
Just doing what I was, you feel me?
Yeah, I do. I
Doing
really
what I
do.
was doing, and then that just led me down the wrong path. Like I used to play football, I used to do all type of like just feel
Productive things.
productive things. But I was just always just dealing with a lot mentally, but I didn't know how to cope with it. And
Right.
like so like the anger, that's when the anger will pop out.
Yeah.
It'll always show.
Yeah. Man, I'm so give him some love. I'm glad that you sharing that. This is Usain, this is him a similar situation. And a lot of times trauma, just abuse, neglect can have this same impact. Say neglect.
Yeah,
it's just where your parents or whoever it was, they just don't mess with you. And there's an attachment that you long for as an infant, that when that attachment is gone, you feel like you're missing a part of the self. Am I teaching good tonight or what?
Yes.
And so then you look for attention negatively, not understanding the difference at that time between negative attention and positive attention. just hearing your name called for the negative is still attention. And then we can become habitual, say habitual. We can be, that's a number 6. Number 6 is a habit, say a habit.
A habit.
You can become habitual in the attention getting because, listen, because that fires the dopamine in your brain. And your brain is sending messages through a chemical called dopamine from your left side of the brain to the right side. And whenever they meet up, it creates a euphoric feeling. Like, bam, I took a hit.
Nirvana.
Yeah. And this is what you're describing. And you know what I love is that you have a place like this place to come and to describe it and talk about it. But I just want to compare the life that you're living now to the life you just described.
Can I say one more thing?
Please do.
You said another thing that kind of touched me when you said about after, like, you might find yourself, like, let's say you doing 30 years in prison, then you in there finding yourself, right?
Right.
You know, I got incarcerated when I was young.
How young were you?
I was 16 when I caught this lady. I went to prison on my 17th birthday.
That was federal?
No, it was state.
Mm-hmm.
So me being a teenager, getting incarcerated, I had to find myself and I had to mature as a man, like, because you know how they say, like, when you get locked up at a certain age, you get out at that certain age.
Right.
I didn't want to be no 20-year-old, 16-year-old. Like,
Right.
I didn't want to be grown out here living my life as a grown man, as a grown 16-year-old.
Yeah, right.
As a grown kid.
Right.
So I had to, like, mentally mature and, like,
Wow.
it took a while. It didn't happen right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you. Thank you for saying that. So now you working, you rolling, you got your own place, and you can take a minute to nurture yourself. Go to the gym. I'm saying this to everybody. You know, when you don't have anything to do, go to the gym or see a movie or find something recreational to do besides just dote over what's not going your way. Because that becomes a negative voice raging inside of you against the truth that you're trying to speak out your mouth. Huh?
Yeah.
Who is the judge?
God, the judge.
And why is he the judge?
He decides who wins and loses, and not my opponent.
Who is your opponent?
My opponent does not exist. He's a mere imagination of the truth that I speak.
That's it. Yeah. Your only opponent, Larry, is not white people at the job. I'm just going there with you. This is love. Your opponent is Larry.
Ego.
And if you can get into a better relationship with Larry, the job will automatically change. I'm just waiting for all the amens and die down. Omar, what you got?
He's speaking facts.
I was late in that side of that.
Yeah.
Give Omar a hand. He was so late. Your girl? Omar done brought his friend. Give Omar a hand. Asha? Yeah, we want to meet her.
He said he wanted to marry her.
We didn't plan on.
Yeah, I'm so glad. I'm so glad, man. And what about Amazon?
Man, they watching me, man.
Well, listen to Omar. What is Amazon doing?
You're gonna be an Amazonian.
Yeah.
Man, give him a hand. Give him a hand. Well, what you got? Omar, I can't wait to meet your fiance. So I'm glad you both. Webb, what you got?
I like that piece you were talking about regarding how
Stephen, I'm coming to you next.
how that past, trying to find my identity. You know, my family, all church folk, you know, we grew up in a very strict home, and on the outside, it looked like everything was perfect. But on the inside, we were all being traumatized, you know, and a lot of that traumatization I have tried to ignore, but I found myself in my decision-making process over the years, making decisions that were not good for me based off of, that was one of the ways I dealt with my trauma, you know, fleeing, escaping, instead of 10 toes down dealing with it right there, and facing the facts that however the outcome would be. And so I have learned, and I'm still learning, even at my age, to if something don't feel right, then don't compromise with it. Because that compromising for me leads me into making a wrong decision that will take me back 20, 30 years, you know, and that's really a challenge. For me, I find myself having to stay busy working because that being of service allows me to walk in that freedom. It allows me to be accountable. It allows me to have that responsibility. It doesn't give me room for error. And I give myself, a little attitude. If I make a mistake, okay. But I'm saying the big stuff, making decisions that can cause me to have a setback 20, 30 years. And most people, when they get into trouble, they have maybe parking ticket or jaywalking ticket, stuff like that. My past don't have that. My past is like 0 to 100 because I found myself trying to find my identity, not based on who God called me to be, but my identity in what others. Oh, I take a little bit of him. I take a little bit of him, a little bit of him, a little bit of him. And in that regard, my identity is convoluted. It ain't clear. And so I just thank God that I have come this far, but I have to re-examine myself daily. All right, Lord, what do you want me to do today? What are my goals for today? It's a renewing of my mind daily. I can't just say I got it and then I'm running off to the races. I have to do this on a daily basis, renewing my mind, re-energizing my vision, my hopes, my dream. Just keep infusing what is right. I know that if I'm in the right place at the right time with the right people, if my attitude is right, if my thinking is right, my actions are right. That was loaded.
Yeah.
Give him a little love. It's interesting. Yourself, your son, Jeremiah, Larry, all talk about this childhood trauma. And it plays a role. And it's got to get worked through your system. Say the system. The body is a functioning system. It's like if you get something stuck in your toilet, your pipes are clogged. And every now and then it backs up on them. This is what we're talking about here. How to keep this thing from backing up so often and how to be on your own side. Yeah, that's good.
It's a red accent.
Stephen, I'm coming to you, but Webb, you got me a song right there. What you got?
Never could have made it.
Yes, sir.
Never should have made it without you. I could have lost it all, but now I see you were there for me. I'm stronger. I'm wiser. I'm better. So much better. When I look back at all you brought me through, I realize you were there to see me through. Never could have made it.
Yes, sir.
Never should have made it without you. I could have lost it all, but now I see you were there for me. I'm stronger, I'm wiser,
Brother,
I'm better, so much better. When I look back at all you brought me through, I realize, Lord, you were there to see.
come on, Doc.
through.
Yes, sir.
Could have made
Never
it.
could have made it.
I never should have made it without you.
Yeah.
I could have lost it
Yes,
all.
sir.
And now I see you were there for me.
Right, right. Come on, put some love. Sometimes when you're at the group, you gotta have a little Zoom. Wayne, I was going to Steve there, or this is, is that your pastor?
Yeah.
Okay, go with it, go with it.
All right, bet. I'll show you what I've been doing.
Someone's life who's been changed by this church. And so we asked Christian if he would come and share. You've probably seen Christian here. Christian's going to come share a little bit of his testimony about the work and the miracle that God has done in him. So we welcome up Christian this morning.
First off, I want to thank Miracle City family for allowing me to share today. My name's Christian Smith. I'm a dedicated disciple maker for Jesus. I'm 36 years old, and I give God the glory just to be standing here. Life hasn't been easy. I faced many trials. I lost both of my parents, and one of my sons from SIDS passed away at 5 months old. My other kids were taken into child services. For 20 years, I battled my alcohol and drug addiction and a lifestyle that led me to prison. But even in my darkest times, God never gave up on me. Earlier this year, I was released from a 28-month prison sentence in Stillwater. I entered a halfway house, and God immediately began to restore my life, providing me with a place to stay, food, clothes, and a new start. More importantly, He anchored me in His Word. I had moments where I felt purposeless, broken, and ready to give up. When I cried out, He drew nigh to me. He removed the veil from my eyes and gave me a transformed perspective on life. He broke the chains of addiction in my life, and He smashed the shackles of torment and pain that I carried for years. Today, I have no desire to go back to the old life. Instead, I've embraced a renewed Christian walk that is full of purpose and direction. The Lord showed me my assignment, to stay humble, to help others, and to point people to the one who saved me, Jesus Christ. And I believe that if we let Him lead, He will light our path and bring everything into place. I'll leave you with one of my favorite scriptures. It's 1 Chronicles verse 4, 9, and 10. O Lord, that you'd bless me indeed and enlarge my territory. Your hand will be with me. You keep me from evil that may not cause pain. Always remember, the best use of life is to spend it on something that will outlast it. Praise His holy and matchless name.
Oh, wow.
If you watch it for a little bit longer though, in a second later on, I'm sure you see the pastor says a nice little prayer, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Christian, that's
My thing,
beautiful, man.
Yeah. He wrote that testimony, and one night he called me the next day. He said, "Man, can you get it to us by Tuesday?" I said, "Man, that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. I'm at work, you know."
Yeah.
So I fasted all day, and I went grabbed some of my stuff from my literature from when I was inside, and I spread it on my bed, and I grabbed a few actual notes from your class, and I just put my testimony together.
Oh, you went POP on him.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, they listen. I wanted to freestyle. They told me I only had 3 minutes. They was like, "No, he had to edit and everything." That was yeah, it was way.
Come on, give some love.
love.
Now, it's here, when you put yourself out there like that, watch this, the demons get angry. And they try to come back at you 7 times stronger than the time they came last time.
Yeah.
And so you got to be fortified. Say fortified.
Fortified.
You have to be strengthened. Say strengthened. Yeah, you have to protect your spirit against the wiles of the devil. I'm just trying to tell you here who we battling. It says we're not battling against flesh and blood.
Spiritual warfare.
In wicked places. And I'm just trying to say, now that you've stepped out, you attract another crowd to you.
Yeah.
Be aware that you got to be walking this way. How what the boy say?
Walk this way. Talk this way.
Somebody say that.
Walk this way. Talk this
Hey,
way.
I mean, and it's real.
Yeah.
Well, man, I couldn't be more proud of you, man. That's a beautiful thing. Give us some love.
You really lit my path too, and like you told me, always told me, when the student's ready, the teacher will appear.
Yeah.
And you was there, and really got me is, my words control my destiny. I could either speak life over myself or speak death. And, for the longest, I was realizing that maybe I wasn't speaking death, but I was speaking negativity. I wasn't speaking righteousness or, where I want to be. You know what I'm saying? So, and then once I got down the line and realized that, my actions affect my habits and, my habits go into my emotions and I don't know.
He's in the 8 steps of the good life there, y'all.
Hey, but once you realize, where you really want to be, and what you want to do in between, that's what matters. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter where you've been. Like I said, you can always be a product. I mean, you can always be a product of your past, but you don't gotta be a prisoner of it. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, that's good.
And don't, like we was touching on earlier, really like how I seen it was like, if you live in the past, you ain't gonna be able to make new memories or realize anything in the present. So you ain't gonna be able to see your future.
Now, this is what I want you to do.
So-
When you're discussing yourself, I don't want you to say you.
All right,
I want you to own your sentences,
Okay.
own your words,
Okay.
because you're speaking life over yourself.
That's right. That's right.
You can't talk about what we gonna do or what you gonna do. You just talk about what I am going to do. And that personalizes the testimony in a way that makes it more meaningful to the person who's saying it. Does that make sense? That brother laid, but he made it. Give him a little hand. Steve, you've been hearing this whole discussion. I want you to chime in from down there in Rochester. Let us know what you're thinking about.
Okay. So, Papa, I want to reflect back on something that you were saying about it came easy to you. So my trauma came easy because everybody in my household, I can't say everybody, but the majority of people that was in the household was all criminals, right? And so I recall when I was going into prison that I had even had an ego about doing a bit because I had been taught by these people that they had been in and out of prison so many times that doing a bit wasn't really, you know what I'm saying, no thing. You go on, you do your time, come on back home and get back on the grind. So
church here in the holy place. Go ahead. Look, sit right there. Be good right here. Go ahead.
So my ego, told me, this ain't nothing. I can go ahead and do this bit. So when they gave me 12 years, okay, they gave me 12. I went to prison. I had my ego was up there because I can do this bit, so it was all good, fun and games until people told me, you're a career criminal and we're looking to try to civilly commit you and
Right.
keep you here, right?
Yeah.
And I had to go in front of the board and have these people approve me to get out,
Right.
and make that decision whether I get to go home or not.
Right.
Man, that ego got a big slap in his face then, and I was able to see that, you know what? It's not a game. These people are going to keep me here for the rest of my life, unless I grow up and become a man and become that man that you were talking about and see myself for who I truly was. And so, that for me was one of those ego shaking moments.
Right.
You had to shake that ego then because I was not prepared. I was scared to death. I did not want to spend the rest of my life. I didn't not want to spend the rest of my life locked up behind no bars with a bunch of men. I didn't want it. I was scared of it and didn't and couldn't do it. Wait a minute. Who is that sitting right there in that twin shirt? Okay, anyway.
It's your cousin Charlie.
Arthur.
Yeah, that's Arthur. Okay.
Arthur Tripp. He was right there with you in Lino.
Yeah, he was.
Trip slip.
Yeah.
Hey, Stephen, that was powerful, and I love what you said. I want y'all to listen at the ladies reflect. Now, I have y'all sit long enough till you hear everything. But now that you've heard our discussion, I need for you guys to chime in Diamond, of course, I'm gonna go to you first. You already know.
For me, it was just a lot of reflection for the kids that I worked with. Right, I have, so those who don't know, I work at a juvenile detention center for enough child. And right now I have a lot of kids who are getting ready to leave, and I actually have one kid in particular. He was 15 when he got here, he's 16 now, but he got certified as an adult. And Thursday he's actually going out to Red Wing. And just think about like all the conversations I have with him and how I interact with him. He is just a kid and he has such a huge ego. And I'm worried for him in the sense of like, I don't know how he's going to be at Red Wing because he got a mouth on him. He got a mouth. He think he can fight. He has gotten to like 7 fights in our facility alone. And I ain't gonna say he lost them, but he ain't.
Right.
He's 16, like I said.
Right.
And just thinking about how he would strive with this message, but it's just like I can't get him to him there. We're working on it.
Yeah.
Gotta talk to you after that.
Sure.
But just think about how you were saying it's just like it's all about the ego and having to find yourself. And he's a kid who loves carjacking, he loves robbing people. Not even that he loves it, he feels like he needs to do it. And I tell him all the time, I'm like, you're a kid. Like you don't need none of that. Like, but it's hard because again, he's picked up all these identities from his family and from just like all these big bros that he has, all these adults in his life who has led him to the wrong path. And that's who he really thinks he is. And I'm just like, you're 16 years old. You are so good at sports. Like you have so much potential to be great. And he needs the time to actually learn that who he is.
Yeah. Time being the key word there. Give her some love.
I think for me, it was just kind of reflecting on my own self. Like in high school, I was always getting ISX. I was never going to class. I didn't care what anybody was telling me. And then my social worker and all my teachers would have meetings about me. And one of them said I wasn't going to make it in life. I wasn't going to do anything in my life. And that's kind of what made me switch up and apply to school so I could prove everybody wrong. And then getting that, when they accepted me at St. Thomas, they had given me almost a full ride scholarship. And I smacked it on my teacher's desk and I was like, look, I did it. And they started bawling their eyes out. So I think that switch, just trying to prove everybody wrong about the stereotypes and the assumptions they had about me was what made me get to where I am at.
Good. Good. Come on, give us some love. I just want to show you something. That is the ego working as a protector. And the ego, it does play a role.
Yeah.
But it wants control. So at some point you have become yourself on the other side of the ego. It's a deep concept. What is that something? The dual nature of the ego, a tool of self-mastery, a destructive force.
So it's basically the same thing she was just saying.
Bruce Lee believed the person needs ego to have confidence to become its best. It can be used as a powerful motivator to achieve one's goals, but also a destructive force. When the ego takes over, it leads to conceit. Somebody say conceit.
Conceit.
Arrogance. Somebody say arrogance.
Arrogance.
And lack of learning.
Lack of learning
from my mistakes. Ultimately causing failure. The ego can also be a source.
The ego can also be a source
of internal resistance.
Listen
to this part. That creates limitation.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah, I always said that, and I know it makes sense now that confidence is a symptom of the ego. And I always said that, but you saying that just kind of drove it home for me. It really is. It's like understanding what the ego is. I found myself at times having to tap in that just to be confident in a moment.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I having to think highly of myself enough, simply just to say I belong here.
Right.
That's confidence,
Right.
but just a symptom of ego.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Right.
you got to have a set of something to say.
And then what I'm talking to you from is this place where it just says, you know, I am that I am.
Yeah.
And I'm not a part of that anymore. Right. It created some of my likes. It created a lot of my dislikes. I've separated myself from the dislikes.
Yeah.
And I toned down from my likes. I want to share with you what I mean by that. Will, I'm hoping you're catching on to what we're talking about, but without me having to go completely all the way back. This weekend, you and Oliver went to the game, man, on Saturday to the Minnesota Gophers game. Was you there? And man, I was in Arizona. I was following it, and then I got it all on text. But watch this. Watch this. I have one 17-year-old left is out of my crew of 9. I have 2 sons. Both of them have experienced the penitentiary. They're older. They older. I have one daughter who also experienced prison. I have one daughter who is a Fortune 500 investor. It's doing great, but we're estranged right now. Then I have 4 younger children. All of them are college graduates. First 2, then there's Manny. Manny's working. And then there's Purpose. She's the baby, the 17-year-old. So during this weekend, I took my baby daughter out of 9 to Grand Canyon University, GCU, in Phoenix, Arizona. And we spent the weekend in Phoenix. It's a beautiful campus. And she wants to travel. She doesn't want to stay in Minnesota. My daughter ahead of her graduated from college in Florida, right? My son ahead of her graduated from the University of Minnesota Duluth. He's an outdoorsy guy. The only one of 9 that want to do anything outdoors. All I want to do outdoors is in the winter is shovel the snow and get back in quick. I don't want to sled. I don't want to ski. I don't want to, I want to travel to a warm climate. But I'm telling you this for a reason. My older children came through when I was full of myself. Jeremiah, I just want you to hear this. I know you're tired, and I appreciate you coming because I know you've been at work all day, but I want you to hear this. When I was full of myself and I was sexualizing, I didn't have a thought about what was going to happen to them children. I didn't have a plan. I was player hating, and I looked real good. Like I was gonna be there for some period of time, but I wasn't really. I was just moving around. Say moving around. And so Arthur, got to turn that off. I had 5 children in that state of mind. 3 of them I lost to the penitentiary, picking up my ways of that guy. Say that guy. That guy who I said was me wasn't me. But at the time when I said it was, I was ready to go down for it. But that guy that I said I was through my ego, and he gave me the confidence, I'll stand on your street corner in your town and say, look, I'm looking for your girlfriend. Send her quick.
Bring them out.
Look, Everybody's on the notice here. I'm just saying, you know, I was way out there. Just who you talking to was way out there. I pulled up in a navy blue convertible coupe. All of it. All drama, say all drama. All drag, say all drag. I was saying, like I'm saying now, I was that guy. But that guy is totally opposed, diametrically, fundamentally, spiritually opposed to the person who is talking to you right now. I mean, he don't even have a voice no more, and I'm not ashamed of who I was because it's a part of who I am now. I grew out of that. I busted out of that. I feel like that song that says, I feel like busting loose.
Busting loose.
And the choir says, I feel like busting loose. Busting loose. I'm like, let me hear y'all say it. No. I just want you to know who you're talking to tonight. Yeah, I got all of that flavor. I got all of that flavor in here. Watch this one. I'm gonna share with you. Watch this. Please catch this. Sorry. That guy who I'm telling you about, he can't take his daughter. He can't take his daughter to the college. His daughter has a 3.5 GPA constantly. She's already been accepted at Gustavus Adolphus here. In case you want to stay here, she just sent me a text while I was here in group saying that GCU already said you're accepted. Well, the guy that parented my first 4 children and the guy that parented my last 5 children, those are 2 different guys. Arthur, do you understand what I'm saying? Sure. Now, it pains me, listen to this, it pains me to watch my older children struggle. And they won't listen because they think I'm the other guy.
Still holding your past on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Dad.
Yeah. You know this guy.
That's the guy I know. And they actually are jealous, I'm just gonna be honest with you, of my younger 5 who are more adjusted. You know, they're better adjusted. They have a better education. Their opportunities are more vast. It pains me, Larry, that I couldn't get it together quick enough. Hold up. It pains me. You're getting a little too busy there. Nice. Yeah, I know, but just hold up. It pains me though. Somebody say pain. Pain. Yeah. It pains me to look at him. My one son, my oldest son, he's locked up in Georgia. I sent him a lawyer. I sent his lawyer $1,800 to try to help him get out of this case. My son, he texted me back. He said he cussed the lawyer out, told the lawyer how to do his job. The lawyer called me back. He said, "Man, has your son got mental health issues?" I said, "No, not really, but he just wants to get out. Can you get him out?" He said, "Man, I can get him out, but he gonna have to stop texting, because you know they reading your text. They taping your." Yeah. My son, he can't hear. Now I'm just gonna show you what I mean by that. It's my oldest son. My oldest son's mother was murdered when he was 5. She got stabbed in the heart by her boyfriend's girlfriend. My son, we put him in, he went to therapy. Stop. That's what that is. We was trying to help him, but he wasn't right. From that point, something wasn't right. The same thing what you talking about. He couldn't get right. His mom was gone. And the grandmama, she was great, but she wasn't the mom. The mama was gone. So what am I saying to you all here tonight? I'm saying to you all here, there are levels of life and layers of the trauma. If you can peel back a layer of trauma and like a card from a deck and throw it in the yesterday pile and keep yesterday's trauma out of the today's pile, well, then the card you're going to get tomorrow is got to be a better card. Just fundamentally, it's going to be better. It's math. Yeah. So this is Christian now dealing up a new deck, saying, I rebuke yesterday and all of its ugliness. Throw the card back in the past. That's not your card for today. Throw it back. It's still a card, but not your card for today. It's your yesterday card. The card for today, deal yourself a fresh card of hope. Say hope.
Hope.
Yeah, hope is a powerful emotion that I have read, and I believe this to be true. That says a man can live in the desert 3 days without water or food, but he can't live 1 day without hope. Stephen was talking about hope. He didn't know he was talking about it. Stephen was talking about, I hope I get out of the penitentiary. And you got to hope. It gives you power. Yeah. Yes. Somebody else. I just want to make sure everybody. Reg, you got something? Anybody? What you got? No, you got something? Yeah. I smeared on your face in spite of you. Right. You ain't my first. I've been here doing this a long time. I seen your type before, baby. And I hit hard licks. Oh, yeah, I know. That's what he tells us the last one told me. But I hit that lick with him like I'm okay with you too. Anyway, I want to introduce y'all to Ryan back here. He's been sitting back here just as a guest. Ryan is someone who's been connected to us for many years with Boys of Hope. We have a Boys of Hope program. The Boys of Hope program here came as a result of trying to get boys to keep from becoming y'all. Y'all was an intervention program. We intervened in prison. Boys of Hope is a prevention project that's trying to keep them from going in the first place. Ryan has been one of our good mentors for Franklin over here at Boys of Hope. He's also been an administrator at New Hope Church, where we go, and has been doing family counseling. And because of what we've been talking about in class here on Tuesdays, I realized that we need some therapy, we need some family counseling. Ryan is thinking about, we're in talks with Ryan about coming on and becoming a part of that family therapy piece. Ryan, I want you to give your reflections on the teaching for tonight, also incorporate a little bit about yourself, and then anything that the Lord puts on your heart.
Yeah, sure. First, let's move up a little bit. Thank you, Brother Shane, for allowing me to be here. Just a little bit about myself. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, born and raised. Came to Minnesota to come to college. So what he's talking about, having that hope. I'm the youngest of 7, but the first to finish college. And so after me, I had a niece and nephew that I helped raise. that came up here as well. The lesson today, I know he was talking to you all, but it felt like he was talking to me too. I'm talking about ego. And you can suffer with an ego problem and not ever have been incarcerated before. That's something that every human being have to deal with. And if you had a certain level of success, sometimes your ego can make you think you built this. And sometimes God has a way of humbling you, reminds you of who you belong to. And so I'm a humble servant. And sometimes servants have to be broken to be put back together again. But in my journey and the work that I've done, I've worked for Minneapolis Public Schools. I was, like Brother Shane talked about having hope and having vision. Well, I started off as just a communications associate. And when I left Minneapolis Public Schools, I was the director of enrollment for the entire school district. I say that to say, in every role that I had, I saw God growing me as a person, and I saw my ability to connect with people. So where I'm supposed to be helping put your kid at Lucy Laney or Elizabeth Hall or Ann Watton, I'm talking about the family structure. I'm talking about the home environment. I'm talking about, do we have an environment that's conducive for learning so that the kid is not constantly getting in trouble? And I also was telling parents, stop transferring this child. Give them a chance. So I found myself doing more than just my job when I'm in school. I found myself trying to support the entire family. And then I moved over to New Hope Church, where the folks don't look like me, but they got issues and problems too. And I found myself counseling families and using the word of God as a guide to deal with issues that people were struggling with. And also just using practical wisdom and life lessons. Because I grew up in Inglewood, Chicago. I didn't grow up in the suburb. I grew up in the hood. I went to Paul Robeson on 68th and Normal. So the things that Brother Shane was talking about, the things that I've experienced are things that I know, not just secondhand things. But I also know that when you do have a vision, when you do have supports, when you do have mentoring, you don't have to be a product of your environment. I'm proud of where I came from. And notice I said where I came from, because I didn't stay in that environment. But I took the skills that God had given me, the ability to connect with people, the street savviness. I took all of that. I took that with me in Minneapolis Public Schools, and I took that with me when I worked for the church. And if the Lord says the same, I come work for the power of people, I will bring that with me also. And I just want to, my colleague and friend I saw today, he said to me, I haven't seen you this excited in a long time. And he said, you love helping people. And that is my gift. My gift is to help navigate, is to give resources, is to network. And I'm like Brother Shane, I'm a straight shooter. Because, I think we need honesty to help us to grow and develop in life. And that's one that's just going to tell us what we want to hear. But sometimes the things that we need to know are those hard truths, even for yourself.
That's right.
But it starts with you. So anybody that I work with, we're working on ourselves. We can talk about what this person did, what that person did, but we have to work on ourselves and make ourselves whole. Then once we're whole, now we can pour out to other people. But you can't pour from an empty pitcher, right? We got to fill ourselves up first. So
That's good.
yeah, so that's what I'm about. That's kind of my calling, my ministry, and
That was good. Give him a big hand. I appreciate it, Ryan, and we're in some talks about, because we got some couples who are talking about marriage, and we got some folks who still need to work through some issues. And so what we're thinking is we're gonna have it set up in such a way where you all can meet with Ryan group and Ryan separately, if that's what you need, that we have that piece on site. Somebody say on site.
On site.
Yeah. Anybody got something they want to share before we get out of here?